Okay, so today we are conducting the HTML and CSS workshop. Okay.
I'm Cynthia, and yeah, I like subjects like that. If I'm standing or sitting.
I am Lisa. It's not really that much of me. I like to.
Okay, so I am Akshara and I love figure skating. Fun fact, I got my skates on Carousel and it saved me $300. Okay. So another fun fact, we spent 45 minutes on this slide alone. Okay, so this is the agenda for today. Firstly, we will be doing a brief introduction to web development itself. Basically, what is HTML and CSS? Then we will move on to the HTML content, which is what is the skeletal system of our websites. Then CSS content, which is designing the actual website. And then Tailwind CSS, which is another type of CSS. So a brief introduction to web development. Can anyone just shout out some differences between web applications and local applications? Anyone? Yes, browser. Okay, so for web applications, they are accessible via browsers like our Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Microsoft Bing, etc. But for local applications, they are installed on our devices directly. For web applications, it needs Wi-Fi and the internet to work because it runs on browsers. But for local applications, it can work offline. For web applications, it's platform independent, meaning that no matter what browser you use, it is the same version of the website. But for local applications, because it's platform specific, there needs to be various versions of the website, of the application for various platforms like Windows, Android, Apple, etc. For web applications, it's easier to maintain because any changes or debugging can be made on the web server itself. But for local applications, it's more complicated to maintain because any updates or debugging can only be made when the user downloads an update for the app. Some examples of web applications would be Wikipedia, CodePen, and Google Colab. And some examples of local applications would be Microsoft Excel and Adobe Acrobat. So what is HTML, or Hypertext Markup Language? It is the standard language used to create and design web pages. It provides the structure of a web page by using a series of elements or tags that define the different parts of the content. It is the bare skeleton of our websites before we add colors and other elements with CSS and Tailwind CSS. So let's look at some elements in a HTML document, which is basically tags and what they do. So what's a tag? A tag is a fundamental building block of a HTML document. Quick quiz time. How do you tell the difference between a start tag and an end tag? Slash. Yes, correct. In the end tags always have a forward slash. For example, in this paragraph tag, the yellow highlighted portion is the end tag. Do note that not all tags have end tags, and those who do not have end tags are called void tags. Some examples of void tags would be image tags, input tags, and break tags. Okay, so this is a doc type HTML declaration. All HTML documents must start with a doc type declaration, and it is not a HTML tag, but it is information to the browser for what document to expect. So this is how you comment in a HTML document. For those of you who have experience with other coding languages as well, you would know that commenting is for you want to write notes of explanations of the code for yourself, or you want to label parts of the code so that it's easier to find when you're debugging the code. So this is a 3-hour, 30-minute workshop, and it is going to be a while. So please bear with us and do not hesitate to ask any questions. Or if I'm going too fast, please just ask me to slow down. So now I'm going to show you how to go live with VS Code and how to set up your file for your web page. Okay, so, what I'm going to have you do is please create a folder in desktop. So how you do that is you click right in your desktop, then you go to new, then you create a folder here. And then just name your folder anything you want, but remember the name of your folder. I'm going to give you a minute to do that. Okay, after you're done with that, I would like you to open up your VS Code. Okay, everyone here? Yes? Everyone caught up? Okay, great. So now you go to your file and you open the folder that you just created. For me, earlier I created a BBCS December conference folder. So I'm going to open that folder. Select folder, and right now your folder should be empty because you didn't put anything in it yet. But since I put some files inside, then yeah, this is what my file folder looks like. Okay, next. What I want you to do is click new file. New file, and then you name it anything .html. Please make sure that your file names end with .html. If not, the live server extension won't work. Okay, so I already have many files, so I'm not going to make a new file. And now I'm going to, yes. Okay, so now that you've created your file, we're going to, oh yeah, also make a style sheet. So another click, and then you put style.css. Make sure that it ends with .css. So this is where we are going to put all our CSS code for later. You guys don't need to know what style sheets are yet, but just create the file for later so that we can speed up the process and you can try out your CSS later when we teach it.
Make sure
We were in VS Code. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Now, before we continue, do you guys know about live server? Live server.
It's an extension for your Visual Studio Code.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, so if you go to the sidebar in your Visual Studio Code, you'll see this thing called extensions. So just click on that first. Yes, yes. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so I have my.
I don't have any weird name codes.
Okay, so just give me a few minutes to set everything. Wait, are you sharing a screen? Right?
I'm sharing the entire screen.
Okay. Okay, so let me just set up my folder quickly.
Oh,
my god, it's fine. No, it's fine. I just have to set up a folder.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
Okay, so my folder here, as mentioned earlier. Okay.
No, I don't use it. I just have it there.
Okay, ignore this. Okay, enter. Okay, great. Okay, open VS Code. File. Open folder. Desktop. This one. Select folder. Okay, great. There you go. Okay, so now, okay, there you go. Yes, I transfer authors. Okay, new folder. In HTML. Style.css. Okay, there you go. So now, as I mentioned earlier, there is this sidebar over here. You guys see it, right? Okay, so I want you to click on extensions. Right here. And in extensions, search up live server.
So that they can view the
Live server by Ritwik Day. Yeah, this one, the first one, this one. Can anyone see this? Can everyone see this?
estimate.
Okay. Okay, so I want you to install this extension. Install the live server extension, guys. So basically what the live server extension does is it helps us go live and see what our website looks as a result. Okay, so now that I have installed this, okay, everyone installed this? Thumbs up if you have. Okay, live server, everything installed. Yes, okay, moving on. Let's go back to our file, HTML file. So I'm just going to demo how this works. Okay, so I'm just going to give you just like, wait, let me just. So. Okay, there you go. Okay, so I'm going to show you just like the biggest header that we have here. Okay, then I'm going to show you how it looks like in an actual website. So if you look at the bottom bar here, you'll see a button called Go Live. You click on that to go live. And as you can see, this is how it looks like in your website, H1. Can you understand? Great, okay. What? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. Okay, so now let's go back to our slides. Where's Crew? Where's Crew? Where's Crew? Crew? Okay, okay, there you go. Okay, so let's move on. This is some example code, some example HTML code. Can everyone see? Can everyone see? Yes? Okay. Yes, okay. So this is a HTML tag. All of your HTML code is nested inside the HTML tag. Okay. So this, as you can see above here and over here, this is our HTML tag. And as you can see, there's the start tag, there's the end tag. And this all is just like HTML code. Okay. Oh, what? Oh my God.
Sorry, guys.
Apologies. The wire is very old, I think.
Oh, like if you hit it, it's that. If you hit it,
Okay.
it's gonna work.
Okay, great. Got it back. Okay. So this is a body tag. Whatever you want appearing on your HTML web page itself goes inside your body tag. So over here, you can see we have various elements appearing on our web page. So next, we have our head tag. What goes in your head tag is information about your web page itself, like the title of your web page and a link to your CSS style sheet, like linking your HTML document to your CSS sheet, which we will cover later. So, okay. So as you can see here, we have our title tag. So whatever you put in the title tag will appear as the name of your browser tab. Then we have our link tag linking our CSS sheets to our HTML document. Then we have our div tag. What a div tag does is basically it groups various HTML components together. So it's like a block level element and it causes a line break. It's very similar to a span tag, but span tags don't cause line breaks. And we will cover span tags later. Yeah, this is especially useful for CSS if you want to apply the same styles to multiple tags at once. Over here. So this is a paragraph tag. This is for displaying large chunks of information on your web page. This is a break tag, which causes a line break, which is basically like pressing enter on your keyboard. Over here. And it is a void tag. It doesn't have an end tag, as you can see. Okay. So this is a span tag. It is not visible on the web page, but it is used to select a specific portion of text to apply styles to in CSS. So for example, I am selecting only the word span here, and then I can apply styles to only the word span in this sentence. And it doesn't cause a line break, unlike div tags. So this is an anchor tag. What it does is basically it displays a link on your web page. So you place the URL for your link inside the href attribute of your anchor tag, and then you place like text in here to click on to go to the link, and then your end tag for your anchor tag. Everyone okay now? Any questions so far? Everyone understand?
Yes. You guys understand?
Great. Okay, I'm going to move on. So this is an image tag. It is a void tag as well. So you put the URL for your image that you want to display on your web page inside the source attribute, SRC for short. Yeah. And then you can add like the width, the height, and then you can add something called an outprop. An outprop has 3 uses. Firstly, for search engine optimization, if you add some keywords in your outprop, then it will display higher on the priority of your search results when you search it up. Secondly, for visually impaired users who use screen readers, the screen reader will read out the outprop of the image. Thirdly, if your image doesn't load or you use a broken link for your image, then an icon of a broken image along with the outprop will be displayed. The outprop is over here, as you can see. For this image, it's Sparkle HSR. Yeah, okay. So moving on. These are header tags. There are 6 sizes of header tags, and H7 does not exist because it's the same size as a paragraph tag. So H1 is the largest header, and H6 is the smallest header. So you saw H1 in action a few minutes before when I was demoing live server. Yeah. Yes. Okay, everyone ready? Let's continue. Hopefully, no more tech issues, okay? So I went through all this. Okay, span tag, wait. What tag was I on?
Am I just saving?
Just say everything.
Okay.
Speed on this.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me speed run this. So title tag, and then we have this tag. As you can see, it causes a line break. Paragraph tag, break tag also causes a line break, but div tag is for grouping. Span tag, and it doesn't show. Anchor tag, image tag, header tags, H1 to H6, H7 does not exist. Yeah, anyone caught that? Can see how it looks like. Yeah, okay. Okay, so now we'll give you guys 5 minutes. Try out any of these tags, and then later we'll have you do an assignment with these basic tags. Okay? Great. Okay, lovely. Let's try it out. I'll be walking around the room just to like help out a bit.
Happy coding.
Yes, happy coding.
I'm gonna set 5 hours. Okay.
Okay, moving on now. Great. Everyone good? Everyone understand? Is it all working? Thumbs up if you're done. Okay. Everyone good? Okay. So now that you've had your time to experiment, there you go. Okay, there you go. Okay. Okay, so I would like you to try out this. Try to make this. But you can replace the image with anything you want. You can replace the text if you want. Yes. Okay. Okay, so just try to make this. And I'll just label what you have to do. Okay? Try. And I'll give you. Okay.
Well, you guys get 10 minutes to do this. Have fun.
Yeah, have fun.
Sorry.
Do you guys think this meme is funny? Okay. Haha, let's laugh, guys. Okay, so I'll continue walking around the room and okay, I'll pass the mic to Peter now while I walk around the room and help everyone.
Hi. Okay. Actually, ask someone.
Yes, I know. Okay, wait.
You gotta speed up.
Yes. Okay, guys. We are gonna continue now. You can complete this later as well. We'll be sending the slides after we're done with the HTML. Great. Let's focus. Now we're gonna do tables. How do you display? Yeah. Okay, no. This is a text area tag. Okay. Okay, text area tag. What does it do? It is a multi-line text box. So it's similar to like any text box that you see on your websites, right? Any website that you use, but it's like multi-line. So instead of just like one line of text box, it's like larger, taller, per se. Okay? Understand? Okay, so this is a style tag. Okay, so we'll be covering this later as well. But just know that this is one of the ways you can incorporate CSS into your HTML code. Okay? Okay, so this is what it looks like. As you can see, the letters in the style tag, we changed it to blue color instead of the default black color. We changed it with CSS, which we will cover later. Okay? And this is what a text area tag looks like. So what do you put in your HTML tag? Guys, caught up? Understand? Okay, great. Okay, so IDs. An ID is supposed to be unique to its own tag. Example, I have multiple paragraph tags, but I only want to style my first paragraph tag. So what I would do, I would add an ID to my first paragraph tag. I would name it maybe first paragraph. And then in CSS, I would refer to the ID instead of just saying paragraph tag. And then I would style it with the ID instead of the name of the tag itself. And for class, it's for multiple tags that you want to format the same way in CSS. So if I want to format my paragraph tag and my H1 tag the same way, then I would add it into the same class. Classes are also used in Tailwind CSS, so take note of classes. And yeah, you'll see ID and class in action in the CSS part and the Tailwind CSS part. Great. Understand? Anyone? Everyone? Okay, great. Moving on. Okay, so yeah, this is what it looks like in your code. IDs and classes. Okay? Okay, next. Okay, so this is some example table code. So this is for displaying tables on your website. Okay? So this is your table tag. All of your table code is inside your table tag. Okay? So you have the start tag here, end tag here. Okay, then we have our table header tag. In any table that we make, right, there's always this one table header. So for example, I'm making a table about students' information. Then my headers would be name, age, class, maybe. And remember that table headers are bolded and centered by default. Okay? Everyone caught that? Great. Okay, moving on. So this is a table row tag. So what it does is it creates one row in your table. And then you can nest like table headers inside. Like table headers, you can put table headers inside. Or as you can see here, you can put table data here. So this is a table data tag. So for example, when I already have my header row of name, age, class, then my data, what would it be? It would be, for example, another row of data would be Amelia 13 3i. Get it? That's how you display it. So it's basically like creating a table row by row. Okay, so moving on. So this is what it looks like with a bit of CSS. Okay, you learn the CSS later. Okay, so basically it's like, you see these border lines, right? Over here. You see this, everyone? That is added with CSS. In HTML itself, you don't have the border lines, but it is in a table view. We will try this out later. Okay, so other variables that you can add into your table tags is row span and call span. So you can make table heads and table rows taller using row span. Depending on what number you use, the row and head will span across that many rows. So it's kind of like two rows merging into one row, kind of like that. It will make sense later when I show you the example. And then we have our call span. You can make table heads and table rows longer using call span. Depending on what number you use, the row and head will span across that many columns. So it's like the same thing, but this is for rows, this is for columns. Get it? Okay. Okay, so this is the code. As you can see, there's row span here, row span included. And this is what it looks like. As you can see, it's like two rows. I have two rows here, but now it's merged into one cell over here. You get what I mean? Yeah, so it's spanning across two rows. Yes. Okay, next. Okay, so this is call span. Call span included. So yeah, see, it's like three columns, but then now this cell is merged into one. Get it? So it's like spanning across three columns. So for call span or row span, imagine I want my cell to span across, what is it called? If I want my cell to span across two rows, then the row span would be 2. And in this case, the call span is 3 because it's spanning across 3 columns. Get it? Okay. Everyone understand? Any questions so far? Everyone okay? Get it? Can we move on? Thumbs up if you caught up. Okay, great. Moving on. Okay, so let's try IDs, classes, tables, and style tags. You can just like try this out on your own. I'll give you 5 minutes again. Okay, yeah. Experimenting time, guys.
Happy coding again.
Yeah, happy coding.
Yay.
Let's try this out. Okay, I'll be walking around again. Okay, yeah, just try it. Try it, guys.
Alright, when you code out the table, it probably won't have any rows unless you know CSS. Because we're gonna teach you that it's like not rows. We won't have the borders because we haven't coded in the CSS yet. But your table will exist. It just you can't see it.
You can't see the line between the.
Your text will appear, your lines won't. So don't be alarmed when you don't have lines. I saw me. I saw me. I saw me. No, stop.
Did I miss it? Oh my gosh.
Okay. Give them 5 minutes.
After you peeking brain rot so far.
Yes. I think I won.
Okay, everyone. Okay, we're gonna move on now. Great. Okay. So try to code this. I'm gonna give you another 5 minutes. Try to code this. Okay? Yeah, just try to code this. I'll be walking around again.
I'm gonna sit down.
Okay. Okay, guys, moving on because we are short on time because of technical issues. So you can try this out later, like after the workshop. You can just try it out. We'll be sharing the slides as well later, so you can just like follow along now. So yes, okay, this is what we call a form. Yes. Oh yeah, okay. So this is our form tag, form start tag, and then our end tag. So this is kind of like making a survey on your website. Okay, it's like interactive. So you're trying to get user input from your website. And where do you send this user input? You send it to a server. And you put the details of your server inside inside your action attribute. Get it? Wherever you want to send the user input, you put it here. Okay, next. Where do you put the questions for your survey? You put it inside the label for tag. Okay? So before for every survey question, you would put like a label, unless you're putting a button lah. Yeah. So label, and then what does the selection tag do? It's a drop down. It creates a drop down. And yes? Any questions? Any question, anyone? Do you guys understand? Give me a thumbs up if you understand. Do you guys understand? Okay, moving on. So what an option tag does is it creates the various options in your drop down. Oh, what are you doing? Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, okay, option tags, woohoo. Get it? Yeah, option tag. So this creates the various options in your drop down, and your drop down is your selection tag. And then you can add IDs, names. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now moving on to input. There are various types of input tags. So there is the text input, button input, number, submit, reset. And you will be covering radio later as well. Okay. Yeah, various types of inputs. So I'm going to explain what each of them do. For text, it creates a text box. For button, it just creates a button. Yeah, just a button. And then whatever you want to display in your button, you put it in value. Okay? And like, yeah, you just look at the various attributes that you can add. For placeholder for text box, it's basically like a hint to what you want to put inside, what you want to submit inside your text box. Yeah. And then the value of your button. And then you have your another type of input, number. What? Okay. ID, name, value. So value is basically what is inside the number box at the start when you first run your website before you change the value. And then you have your step. So what a step will do is 2 arrows up and down will appear in your number box. So you can click up or down to make it go up or down. Yeah, basically, yeah. And then you have your min value of your number box. And yeah, so that's all for numbers. Okay, then we have the submit type input. Okay, so that's to like submit all the data in your form to the server. And then values, yeah, whatever this is. Okay, reset. Reset is for when you want to reset all the options that you chose. Imagine I type something in the text box, but I don't want it to be there anymore. Or I want to reset all the data in my form. I would click the reset button. And that's what it's there for. Get it? Everyone get it? Understand? Okay, we'll move on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this one is step, min, value. Yes. Okay, so radio type input. So we have our label, which is this part. This is a radio button. And then we have our two radio buttons here. So radio type, like input type radio. Okay? Then name is equal to yes, value is equal to yes, and then I have yes here. So please remember, like, the title of your radio button goes beside your tag. It's like outside your tag, but it's like beside it. Over here. You see? This is how you create a radio button. And then you have another radio button. No, no, and then I write no beside here. And that's how it displays. Yes and no. Get it? Everyone understand how to display a radio button on your website? Okay. Okay, moving on. This is extra. I'm not going to cover it. This is what it looks like. And yeah, let's try out all the form tags. Actually, no. You can do this later. We'll upload the slides. Right now, we're a bit short on time, so I'm going to move on. Okay? Okay, so this one, assignment. Okay. Character references. So we had, if you want to display the ampersand on your web page, this is a character reference. If you want to display the lesser than sign, greater than sign, and quotation marks. So these are the various character references that you can refer to. There's also a lot more, like for asterisk and other like symbols, and you can search it up online. Okay? But these are like the basic ones. So this is what it looks like. Quotes and yeah, various symbols. Okay, embedding. What is embedding? So it's basically like, okay, this is actually a GIF. For example, I want to include a YouTube video in my, yeah, these are embedding examples. Imagine I want to include a Spotify song in my website, but I don't want to use an anchor tag. I don't want to have to go to Spotify itself, but I want to interact with it in my own website. Then I would use the iframe tag to embed the website into my website. So as you can see, it's very easy to embed Spotify songs. You just copy this code here, the iframe tag here, and then you paste it in your code. You can also do that with maps, and you can also do that with YouTube as well. So embedding other websites is a bit more complicated, unlike YouTube, Spotify, and maps. So you would have to type out the iframe tag yourself. And there are, yes, 3 attributes: source, width, height, just like an image. Inside your source, you put the link to your web page. Inside the width, you put, yeah, width and height. And then you have your ending iframe tag. Get it? Yeah, the link to your website that you want to embed, width, height. Let's move on. So this is what an HTML web Wikipedia embedded inside another website. As you can see, there's a label here. Looks like. It's not very clear here, but if you try it out, it'll make sense. Okay, yeah. Embedding, this is what it looks like. Okay, so for this one, yeah. Okay, so this is what it looks like. The video is unavailable here, but this YouTube video is embedded. And then as you can see, I have my various character references here. Okay. Lovely. Okay. Understand? Lovely. Okay, so example code again. Okay, let's not do that. Now onto CSS. We'll have a bit of a break. Okay, so yeah, applause for CSS, guys.
I'm so sorry because we had so many technical difficulties.
Yeah.
You can ask anyone.
Wait, can you hear this?
I no.
Any questions?
I know.
The last few questions, but you'll see uploading time and any questions.
Special education.
Ask one question for a chance at getting $2. And that chance is 0, but okay, like a chance, it's still a chance. Maybe I'm lying, maybe it's actually like just a risk. Like maybe there's like a 1% chance and like okay, just ask questions, just ask questions. Enough of this dilly-dallying. Yeah.
Wait. Media. What you call it? Now. What am I taping?
Wait.
My bad. Oh shit. Sorry, I saw you. The mic does not. I just clip onto my collar. Does it work too? I think clipping on my collar works a little bit better, does it? What are you doing? I give them like 2 more minutes and I start talking about CSS. I need to leave at least an hour for Tailwind. Because Tailwind is pain.
What? What?
Oh, you know myself. That's it. Security drama is crazy. How do you make the chair taller? Do you make it taller?
Wow.
How do you? What? Oh, that's much better. My feet cannot touch the ground, but it's fine. Oh, they can. Never mind. 1 minute. Give me my thing. Yeah, don't shine into his eyes. God damn it. Okay, you call them back.
Hi, we're gonna move on to CSS now.
Yeah. We're gonna start on CSS now, everyone. So this is how you will link your HTML to your CSS, which I think you've already done, right? Probably have. The href is for your CSS file link, so you can just like put your whatever you name your CSS file is like you href it. You href like style.css, for example. Okay. So intro. This is a website without its CSS. Looks kind of sad, right? Then this is a website with the CSS on. So you can see it looks like much better, much more organized. So yeah, CSS makes HTML pretty. And this will be the rendering pipeline. You'll do CSS and HTML first, then you'll go into the browser rendering engine, and then this will be the website layout. So CSS syntax. This is 3 ways for you to do CSS. You do inline CSS, you do style block, or CSS file. Because all good things come in 3s. So first is inline CSS. This is just basically putting a style attribute in HTML tag. This is the style attribute in the HTML tag. But it makes the HTML tags look bloated, and it's really hard to apply a specific style to like all of a specific tag. So how can we do better? This is the style block, which is usually added in the head block. And it is a more organized arrangement of styles and can apply specific styles to different places at once. But it's like really if you have a lot of styles, it's really hard to keep track of. So, and then you have the CSS file, which is a separate file to keep track of all your styles, and it's written in the same way as a style block, but it's more concise and like more clear for you to style your website. And this is how you link it. This is what BuildingBloCS website CSS looks like. I think you feel like crying looking at it. I also want to cry. It's okay. Okay, this is the anatomy of a CSS block. You have the selector, which is what you want to change. You have the curly braces, which will indicate the start and the end of declaring a selector. You have the property, which you want to change, like color size, etc. And then you have the value, which is what you want the property to be changed to. And the semicolon will indicate the end of the declaration. So look at this example domain, okay? This is it without the CSS. And then this is it with the CSS on, like in the head. You observe the background colors, okay? The yellow, the paragraph tag is yellow, the div is white, and the body is gray. So you see this code here. This is the declaration for it, yeah. Then here's the priority of declarations. Paragraph is the highest priority, and div is middle, and body is the lowest priority. The priority of like the elements does not equate to how it's organized. So you can see like paragraph is put here, body is above div, but div will still take precedence over body. And now observe the font. So there's a font with the CSS off. And then you see the font with the CSS on. You notice the difference, right? Okay, probably do. So you see, same thing about priority. Body has the lowest priority, but it's still being used. Why is that so? Because higher priority isn't found. So the paragraph tag and the div tag both don't have a text like font family inside of it. So body will take precedence and the entire thing will change. So rule of thumb, if there are two selectors with conflicting declarations, the more specific element will win. This is okay. So you know how to select paragraph, right? So how do you select the first paragraph? Can someone give me an answer? No? Okay. The answer is using ID. Sorry. How do you does anyone know how to set an ID for the HTML tag? Do you guys listen? Were you listening? Do you know? Yes, no? Do I have answers? Okay, very good. You're correct. Yay. You don't get money, unfortunately. This is how you set an ID. So how do you refer to an ID now? You just take a guess, like anyone. Lucky guess. Correct. Very good. You still don't get money. Sorry. So yeah, that's how you refer to an ID. So so you know how to select second div, but how do you select both second div and second header? Does anyone want to take a guess again? No? Okay. It's using class. Correct, probably. How do you set a class? Correct. Very good. Okay. So how you refer to a class? Try again. Yes. Correct. Yay. Okay. So it's like that. Then it will change it to red. Huh? Doesn't understand. Oh, never mind. Okay. No. So this is a summary of what we've learned so far. Like We got inline CSS and all the different types. We got the anatomy of a CSS block, the priorities, and class and ID. So now here's some basic things that you can do in CSS. So you can comment stuff, that's a given. You can do background stuff like changing it to a solid color, have gradients, and even images. And text stuff, which is you can change the text to a different solid color, or you can have text gradients too. Oh, and fonts. This is how you would comment something in a CSS file. Like you do this to prevent it from appearing, or if you want like to remind yourself of something. Sorry, I need to slow down. The background stuff. For this is how you would like change the color of it. If you do background color yellow, the whole thing will turn yellow. And then if you specify H1, only the background of H1 will turn yellow. And this is how you would do a gradient. You can use this. This will give you a gradient which goes from light red to light purple. But I'm pretty sure that the colors are given in VS Code, so you don't really have to worry about the values. Yeah. That's how you would get your colors, basically. And now images. You see, this is how you would set a background image for your HTML file. But the background will become a repeated image and the text becomes unreadable. So to fix this, you can do this, which will give you like a white background, and like it will make the image faded and make your text readable. So this 0.9 is like, I think it's the transparency. And then this is your background blend mode, which lightens the background so your text becomes readable. This gets your background image from a link. This will give you the transparency. And then what this entire thing will do is set a white and very transparent background, which is hidden by the image. And this will combine the image with a very transparent white background to get a faded image. So, I mean, you guys ever wonder how to make the entire image fill the viewport? Yes? No? Okay. This is how you do it. This will keep the image fixed in place. This will center the image. This is the minimum width for the image to cover the viewport. And then this is the minimum height for the image to cover the viewport. This will scale the image proportionally. And this sends the image behind all the other content. And this will increase the transparency of the image. I'll give you guys like a few seconds to look at this. Maybe process it a little bit before I move on. Am I going too fast? Am I going too fast?
I don't know. I was busy helping.
Okay, I'll just.
But I think honestly, you're not.
Okay.
Do you think it's better if I like before the Tailwind thing starts, I ask them, hey, are you like planning? Or do you think it's better if you do it like now?
I'll do it after, like during the activity. Okay, you guys can just mess around with the stuff that we learned just now. And if you need any help, like feel free to ask. You guys get like 5 minutes for this. Happy coding. Damn it, what do you want? What do you want? Are you, what? Why? Oh, is everyone confused?
Yes.
I know that. I'll go help our ones.
Wait. A genius. Wait. Let's do a live demo. Wait, Cindy, can I live demo something? And yay. Okay, then you can freeze it. Go. Yeah. I'm brilliant. Okay. Okay.
It is still connected. Why is it still connected?
Hmm?
That's nice.
Okay. To those of you who are walking along to the demo I'm doing right now, I'm gonna show you guys a simple example of how typically you do something like this. Okay. So as as we have mentioned, when we want to change the style, typically it's good to first set an ID. So over here, I've set the ID of the link to style link. Okay. And so that name you will then carry forward to here in the CSS file, where, as you guys have mentioned, because it's an ID, we're going to use a hashtag sign, styled link. Okay. And this is going to give you whatever you want to style. So over here, we want the link to be green, bolded, and not underlined. Okay. So first, we're going to set the color to green. Then we're going to do font weight. Okay. Finally, we're going to do And I don't, so for instance, if I don't know how to, what is the property that removes the underline from a text, then what you can do is basically you can go just text, okay? Text underline property. I can't spell. And you see how W3 School has a page that says text decoration, okay? So I'm going to change the text decoration to none, okay? Now, I have a question for you guys. Why is this not changing? I've added the CSS here, right? I've added the CSS in the style CSS, right? But why is it not changing? Why is my new link not changing? Does anyone know? You can check out the HTML, okay? What is missing from here? Anyone here? Look at what we need, okay? We need the CSS file because this is a standalone file, right? I put it in a different file. And then everything else looks okay, right? We have the bracket, we have what we want changed, and we have the things that are changed in this file. So what we're actually missing is the link, right? We're missing the link to the CSS. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a link, and the name, I believe, the style sheet, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically link my style CSS back to the sheet. So does anyone recall how you write that? Okay. Now, is this correct? Is this correct? Wait, I can't hear you. What is wrong? This is wrong? Okay, what should it be? I can't hear what. Okay, good. So it's real. Okay. Now are we correct? I think. All right. See, there we go. So now you see that now it's green, bold, and not underlined. Okay. So make sure that you have all the steps here. Okay, let's do something else. Can't do this. Oh, I love Windows. Can. Huh? I don't know. What do you mean good enough? Hello?
Yep. No, reasons covering. Okay, guys, ready to move on? Okay. Wait, do you freeze it? Yeah, freeze it. Okay, I'm pretty sure you did that already. Never mind. I screwed the controller, bro. I give up. Wait, where am I going? Oh, sorry. Now we can. Here. It's here. Oh, sorry. Oh, it's sorry. You guys want to have 5 minutes to change the background of your headers, or you've already done that already? Okay, no answer. I'm gonna skip it. Text stuff. I give up. This is how you would change the font family of it. This will change your, like, this asterisk will change your entire HTML's font into this. And then this is priorities again. If this is the first available font listed, so it will be used. Then if this font isn't available, the second one is used. If the second one isn't available, third one is used, so on, so forth. And if the last listed font is not available, it's gonna go back to default, which is Times New Roman, U. This will change the entire, like, all the H1 tags size to 50 pixels, because H1 is 34 pixels by default. And this will change your H1 tags to be blue. Oh dear. Okay, this is how you would change, like, your text to have a gradient. This sets the thickness of the letters. This sets the size of the text. This will set the background of H1 to be gradient. And this is the color hex and the percentage of the text. And this will clip the background color to H1 of H1 to the text only. So then your text will show up as gradient. So I'll give you, like, maybe a few seconds to process this before we move on. I can't do it. I have a file for it. Why did you open my M block? Oh no, they don't. Oh dear. Pretty sure this is, yeah. This is the code for the transparent text. The gradient text, sorry. What's the typo? But it works. Oh, yeah, it does. I'm pretty sure that.
Not the image 2 times.
Okay. Okay. Test it. Nah, it works. It's shiny new gradient. It's gradient. It's shiny.
Okay. You see how the gradient is, like, directly masking the text? So if we put it side by side, right? Excuse the poorly formatted code.
Hey,
But
that's not very nice.
what you'll notice is that we're basically using the same gradient property, but you add a WebKit in front. And the reason is that the native CSS doesn't actually support putting a gradient on the text. So we have to use the engine that actually processes it. That's why you're using WebKit. And similarly, you're using WebKit as well to clip that background only to the text. So if I remove this, if I add a comment here, what do you think is going to happen? Is that you're going to see a long gradient here, because this will cover this will overlap the entire H2 header. And so if I remove this, now you see that it's only masking to the text. Okay, the rest of them is the same. The color you set to transparent so that you don't overlap with any existing color. The reason is because the color actually supersedes the background. You apply the color in front of the background. And so if you add, let's say, if you change the color to red, you're actually just going to get red. Okay? So the background, the color of the text must be transparent for the clipping to happen.
Yeah, I'll freeze it. Okay, that's what it's supposed to look like. With a little bit of custom fonts that we'll cover later. You guys want to mess around with it, or are you done? Never mind, I'm moving on. So I give them time for this. Okay. So now onto margin, border, and padding. For border, this will set a border around every element, like div, paragraph, h1, etc. And if you do this, you give your border rounded edges. This changes the background color of each like element inside of the CSS, HTML. So you might be wondering like, why are there spaces between each paragraph element? And what if I want to outline the border to be further from the header? That's where margin and padding comes in. Huh? No, never mind. The blue area represents the element. So in this case, it's paragraph. And then margin is on the outside and padding is on the inside. So this is how you want to remember is that Paddington is an inside agent. So padding on the inside, margin on the outside. So here's like, if you do this right, what do you guys notice? Okay. Never mind. Kill myself. So by default, paragraph has a margin of 16 pixels on its top and bottom. Once you do this, it will set the margin to all sides and make it narrower. And this is just using like 4 different values of margin to set the margin on different sides. So it goes in order from top, right, bottom to left. It goes clockwise from the top. So now we're experimenting with padding. So this is the system for the site described earlier. And it works for padding as well. So rule of thumb is that if the elements beside each other are too crowded, use margin. If an element is cramped inside of something, like too close to the edges, use padding. So now here's the really, hopefully really long awaited part of finally making your tables look like tables. So like, okay, like a table right now is probably looking like this. If you don't know CSS, it looks really ugly, right? Like nothing. Then you ever wonder how you make it look like this? No? Okay. Well, does anyone want to take a guess? Like anyone who knows, want to take a guess? No? Okay. Well, oh. So this will be like how you get your table borders. So your table will actually look like something. Oh, fatal. But like what you get is probably this, which still looks kind of ugly, right? Yeah. So how you get rid of this is you use border collapse and you collapse the border. That way the borders of the side won't show. And then you have a really nice looking table. And you might also be wondering like, how can I possibly center this table? Because it's probably like at the side of your HTML right now and it probably looks really sad. So how do I make space or how do I make space in this table? The answer is by using margin and padding, which is what we learned just now. Hopefully you've been listening. I really hope you have. So you want to like take a guess as to how to center the table with margin and padding? Anyone? Correct. Very good. Yes. You're right. You're right. So you use margin right auto, margin left auto. Then that way it will make like the margins. It will automatically just center your table. Okay. I'll let him live demo something for you guys in case you didn't understand. Yeah. is it? How do you use it? Which one?
Okay.
You take the mic. Do you take the mic?
Okay. All right. Let's. Can. All right. Let's format this code a bit better. So. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry for those of you who have to see me delete things because I don't use Windows. So this is very gonna take a while. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay. Gonna format this a bit better so you guys can take a look. Okay. Let's look at the first 3 lines because that is what we just covered. Okay. So you notice how there are 4 things we're actually looking at, right? Instead of just the table, you're looking at every single thing. And the reason for that is in a table, there's actually 4 different things you can target. You can either target the table itself, which is, if I can find it, right here, okay? So the table itself is the big thing, right? Is the whole table. The TR is actually what is known as a table row. So each of the rows is covered by the TR, okay? Now, can everyone take a stab at guessing what TH stand for? Header, yeah, perfect. And what about TD? This one's a bit more confusing. What does the D and TD stand for? It should be called cell, but the HTML choose to be annoying. This is actually a table data, okay? But in reality, the TD actually controls every single individual cell, like in Microsoft Excel, right? Every single cell that you see here is a TD, okay? So what we're basically doing here is we're saying, okay, for all of these individual components, we're going to apply 1 pixel of black border around each thing. So that's why over here you actually see multiple lines, right? You see a big line enveloping the whole table. Then you see lines enveloping each of the headers, and then you see a line enveloping each of the data. That's why there's so many boxes. If I were to remove, let's say if I make a table here, hold on. I can't find it. Oh, nope. Oh, yes. Okay. If I go to HTML, and if I do, oh my gosh, I haven't used the table in so long. I forgot how to do the table. Yeah.
Then after that,
Yeah. TH. Let's do name, age. I'm just gonna do name and age, and then body, TV. Let's see.
I know actually.
Oh, yeah, I know. Relax. Yeah, sure. I'm never using Windows ever again. Okay. This is why it's never good to do front-end data, which is why you should come to the database workshop. We're gonna show something easier, you know? Yeah, plug. But anyways, while I laboriously go through this, apologies for this. I'm gonna, okay. I have one row, I give up. Okay, so you see how right now we have this, right? If we were to remove this CSS, if I were to remove, let's just say this, okay? You see how the lines actually disappear from the thing?
Keep talking.
You see how the lines actually disappear from the thing? But if I were to replace it, adding the rows, you see the lines coming back together. That's because we've assigned every individual cells to have a line, to have a border line here. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. Now there's of course other things you can do. For example, I can say if I add a color and let's say green, see? All of the rows are now green. Yay. But we're not done. Let's add, because I'm a menace, I'm gonna make the table white. Color white. Okay? So now we have white text. Yay. TH. The TH controls the header. And so we're gonna change this to red. Ta-da! A Christmas table. Okay? Now, each of this, then you can add, let's say, margin and padding. So how do we do that? Well, for each of the data cells, what we want is, because right now it looks kind of clumped together. So we're adding space within each of the cells. So we're going to add a bit padding. Okay? Let's add maybe, let's say, 10 pixels. It doesn't show much. Let's make it bigger. Okay, it doesn't change. Why is that? Why does padding not work in the table data cell? It should work, right? If I have a TD here, theoretically every cell should do it. Why does it not? Oh. Also, this is too silly. Oh my gosh. Why can't I do padding here? What is wrong with this CSS code here? I can't see. Hi. Wait, sorry. The what? Okay, then what should it be instead? The text is the wrong one. This one? What should it be then? 100? You want to test 100? Nope. Doesn't work. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's try for the entire table. Okay. Doesn't work. Okay. So what you're actually going to notice is that you don't see anything happening in the background, right? So I'm going to, let's hope my dev tool works. I'm going to look at developer tools. Now, this is a tool in which you can use to look at padding. Yay. So you notice here, when I click on the actual table, I'm going to click on the table. Okay. I'm going to go straight down. What do you notice here? You notice that the padding is actually applied, but it's not here. Right? If I highlight the actual table, you see that the table is here. And then you see that we actually have it 100 padding. But then it doesn't show. Okay? So you actually see 100 padding. So you're kind of right, but you're also kind of wrong in saying that the padding isn't even here. It is here. It's just that tables don't actually have the ability to add padding within each with the traditional padding kind of syntax here. Okay? So if everyone can, if you want to test out your CSS and you want to see this diagram, you can basically, if you're using Chrome, you can just go to View and then Developer Tools, and then you should be able to see this similar screen over here. If you can't access it, let one of the fossils know, and then we can help you set it up. But this is a really good resource for you to look at the padding. So let's take a look here. Okay. There's no padding for the title text. So let me add a bit of padding. Let me just add a new line here. H1. Padding bottom. Okay, I'm gonna add let's say 500 pixels padding to the bottom. There. Now you see that the table is completely gone because I've added so much padding, right? You see that there's a big chunk of white space right over here. If I can select it. Oh, there it goes. Click. There we go. You see the green chunk over here? That is the padding. So that is 500 pixel worth of padding. So as you scroll all the way down, you see that our shiny new gradient and our Christmas table is down here, while the padding has pushed it all the way to the bottom. Okay. Finally, let's look at centering. Okay. To look at centering, we'll have to remove our developer tool because I want to show the center. Okay. So to show the centering, I'm going to do margin left and margin right. Yeah, can you remove that stretch?
Can't remove it. Leaving it.
Okay, back. Wait, can you freeze it? Here's some like, okay, I'll take over. Here's some, oh wait, it's frozen.
Yeah, just click on it.
Okay, fantastic styles and where to find them. So yeah, I can't teach you everything, but Google can. So how do I use custom fonts in CSS? That's my best friend Google. Use it. You can use Google for this. Oh wait, you search like, how do I use custom fonts? And then they'll tell you you can use Google Fonts to do that. So how do I use Google Fonts? Use Google. They'll tell you how to use it. And here's like all the like fonts that you can use. Yeah. Oh. Then you can see here you can get the embed code for this font. Yeah, like that. Then you can that's what I was trying to say. You can use like, because I can't teach you everything, you can, if you're unsure, you can use Google or you can use Google, you can use W3 Schools and YouTube, and also MDN Web Docs. Yeah, because it's really good apparently. This is just miscellaneous. You don't really have to know this, but this is like, this implements this behavior. It's like when you hover over the text, turns yellow.
Yeah. Oh,
Sorry. I need time. So that's how you do it, lah. You don't really have to know this though, but it's good to know, yeah. So if I did actually teach you guys everything in CSS, we will be here for a week. And so here's some stuff that you might want to consider self-learning, you know, just for fun.
Okay, go back one slide so that guy can.
Which guy?
The guy.
Which guy?
Okay, never mind.
Okay. So here's some CSS frameworks. You've got Bootstrap and you've got Tailwind. And we are gonna cover Tailwind. So now I'll give Weezen the mic, and he's gonna teach you guys how to do Tailwind CSS.
I'll just leave it here for
Test. Wait, why? What? Huh? What? No, my voice is. I already muted it. It's yours.
Mute.
Yeah, Oh.
Okay. Hold on. Let me just snatch away control from here. Wait, where did I snatch away? Okay. Wait. Let me turn off my mic first. Wait, how do I put this on? Okay.
Test. And how does this work? Or do I need to connect on my end? Oh, this one is this one?
Yeah.
Or this one? Which one? Okay. Oh no, I don't have adapter. Hey, I have it's like I don't have USB. Like okay. I'll just click it on here. So many laptops, oh my god. Yeah, move Peter's thing away. And with that out of the way. Yeah. Yeah, you can get one if you want. So yeah, hi. You guys know my name, right? And you guys know my face, right? Seen it, right? See it? I see it. No. Now you don't. Now I see it. I don't know who I am. That's fine. But I know what Tailwind CSS is. Just kidding, I don't. But I know enough to teach you. Now this is where things start to get real because, not gonna lie, it is kind of difficult, this Tailwind CSS. And yeah, as I said, right, I can't teach you everything. As Sinya said, I can't teach you everything. It's like, oh shoot, is it like still lagging on this? This is concerning. Okay, I'll just dual wield the laptops. Yeah. So yeah, I can't teach you everything. And that's really sad. But hold on, we just plug this out. But the thing is that Google can still teach you everything. What the heck? Wait, there's no HDMI port? Oh my god, thank you so much. Oh, it's there? Oh my god, that's so stupid. Wait, can you move this like there? I'm so sorry.
You like put yourself onto Teams.
Yeah, I did. So wait, can they see?
It's my thing is sharing.
Are you sure? Because I thought that I changed.
Oh.
Wait, what's Teams? Even is Teams? I swear it says I'm sharing a window. So if I go here, oh, I am. See? Wait.
I think it's on my computer.
Yeah, they said don't unmute, and if I unmute, then it's like this. Do you want me to do this? Yeah. Okay, now I'm just confused. Because like it says
Computer streaming.
no, it's streaming this. See? Wait, can you check? Can you check? Wait, go on Teams and check.
Plug yourself into HDMI.
Mine's in
Yeah, I know. Where's the HDMI port? Why is it so short? No, it's this one. It's this one. Yeah, bro. You gaslit me. I'm so sad. Okay. Yeah. So, right. I think this works. Okay. Bro. Yeah, it works now. Whoa. Can they hear me on Teams? Wait, what do you mean? I don't need to minimize. It's not showing. It's not showing. Okay, yeah, sure. Actually, yeah, it does. Blah, 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 blah. So as I said, don't be afraid to search Google Tailwind CSS. Now it's slightly controversial, but hopefully by watching this fire shit video, maybe you come to love and come to understand why you should love Tailwind. Yes, we are outsourcing our education to Tailwind, to Fireship. Wait, you can't hear.
Consistently build good-looking websites. Tailwind, a massive collection of tiny CSS classes for consistently build good-looking websites. CSS is hard. Design is also.
Okay, wait. This is really weird. I don't know why I can hear myself here. This is strange. Shara. Okay, so if I test. What the heck? I don't know. Is it coming from Ashara's end? Yeah, but then I can't play the video. Like there's no audio. Okay. Yes, if I do this. Okay. Let me see what it is. It's like by right, it's not even. Wait, is it? Where's it coming from? Okay. Just mute when you're playing the video. Okay. It's alright. I don't know how this works. Is it even? You sure? Yeah. Oh, okay. Just mute when you're playing the video. Okay. Just by right, I'm already muted. It's yeah. Oh, here.
Tailwind, a massive collection of tiny CSS utility classes for quickly and consistently building good-looking websites. CSS is hard. Design is also hard, but naming your CSS classes in a sane way is virtually impossible. Frameworks like Bootstrap and Material address this challenge by creating styles for high-level components, things like buttons, drop-downs, and forms. Tailwind takes a more functional approach by providing you with utility classes that can be composed together to build components like this. Instead of using the card class like you might in Bootstrap, you combine utility classes like Flex to make it a flex box, P to give it padding, M for margin, and hundreds of others to control things like color, shadows, and so on. In addition, every utility can be applied conditionally. You have variants like small, medium, and large for responsive designs, along with a bunch of pseudo-selectors like hover and focus to handle state changes, or dark to render different colors when dark mode is enabled. This approach gives you a lot more freedom over your creativity compared to other CSS frameworks, while at the same time following the rules of a design system that you don't get with plain CSS. It lives in the sweet spot between convention and configuration. However, it does produce some ugly-ass HTML. You've got tons of hard-to-read duplicated class names here. As your UI grows in complexity, code duplication is inevitable, but you can avoid it by creating reusable components with your favorite JavaScript framework, or by using the apply directive in CSS to take Tailwind classes and compose them into a single concise class name. Another concern you may have is performance, because Tailwind weighs in at over 3,500 kilobytes, but when you go to build for production, it will automatically purge any unused utility from the final bundle, resulting in minimal dead code and thus faster page loads. But who has time to learn and memorize all these different utility classes? Where Tailwind really shines is with its tooling. You don't need to memorize much because VS Code will autocomplete every Tailwind class. If you're not sure what it does, just hover over it and it will show you the equivalent code in plain CSS. And if you're not happy with what it does, you can easily customize everything from the color palette to the spacing to build your own unique design system. This has been Tailwind CSS in 100 seconds. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more short videos like this. And if we hit 10,000 likes, I'll make a full Tailwind tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
All right. So, wait, hopefully the people in the teams can hear me. And if they can't, Mia will be approaching me in probably 2 minutes. But without further ado, I'm going to start covering Tailwind. So I want y'all to, hold on, see this link over here. I want y'all to enter this in, and you'll get a bunch of code inside that link. And inside this, you can try out all your Tailwind stuff. But alternatively, if you really want to use VS Code, like a swag guy or something, like follow all these instructions. You can take a photo of it and then follow it on your own time. But the reason why I would prefer you all to use playtailwindcss.com is because it just works out of the box. Now, I want to preface this by just asking, right? Do y'all understand stuff like margin, border, and padding right now? Okay, if you do not understand it, raise your hand. Because if, like, basically, right, if you don't understand CSS, raise your hand. Because if it's really important that you understand CSS before we carry on with this. Honestly, right, if you don't understand CSS, then there's no point in learning Tailwind CSS. And like, I think it'll be better time spent just going through CSS once again. So I like to repeat myself. Does anybody here not understand CSS? Raise your hand. Like, don't be shy. I'm actually being serious. Like, please. I want this to be an informative experience for y'all. And if this is not something you can understand, then like, yeah. Anybody? No? That's fine. That's completely fine. That's fine. Because look, I'll be frank with y'all. I learned HTML and CSS probably a long time ago, but when I learned it, it took me 1, 2, 3 weeks to understand like the first 20%. Exactly. And yeah, and then what happened was that I slowly learned everything else, not everything else, but like the rest of like 80% of HTML and CSS over the course of 5 years. Because it's not like one person can one-shot it in one day. So if you do, congrats. But anyways, right, seeing as to how only like 1 or 2 people don't understand CSS, I'll tend to you later. For now, I'll just try to go through Tailwind CSS. Yeah. Just now, we actually covered inline CSS, right? Where inside the tag, the starting tag, you have style and then how you want to style the tag. That's kind of how Tailwind CSS works. Except that instead of having style to style it, you have a class. You have a class given to you by, just say please. Speed up. Okay, so you have a class which basically describes how you want to style it. And yeah, I'm not going to go through this because you'll slowly find out why you want to use Tailwind CSS in the first place. But essentially, right, this is how a Tailwind class looks like. It describes how you want to change the text. How does it do that? First, you have this part, this yellow part over here, which is what I call a selector. It selects which part of the tag you want to change. Do you want to change the background, the text, or do you want to change the margin, border, padding, whether it's rounded or not? And then over here, you have the descriptor, which basically says how you want to change it. Like, do you want it to be red? Do you want it to be very big? Do you want it to be aligned to the left, etc., etc.? So just to reiterate, you have the selector, which selects which part you want to change. And you have the descriptor, which describes how you want to change it. Now, can somebody repeat what I just said? Somebody, just shout it out. Repeat what I just said. Yeah, that. Okay. Anyways, so the thing about Tailwind, right, is it actually has a really special convention for coloring. Just now, we taught you stuff like RGB and green, black, blue, etc., etc. But how it works for Tailwind is that, as you can see over here, oh, sorry, you have a bunch of colors like yellow or green, and you have a bunch of numbers like 100, 200, 300, 400, blah, blah, blah. And how it works is you have the color which you want, followed by how dark you want it to be. So the lower the value, like if you had 50 or 100, the lighter it will be. And the higher the value, like 900, 1000, the darker it would be. So just asking someone in the audience, you, young man, how would you have dark cyan? What would be the color convention for dark cyan? You said cyan dash 900? That is absolutely correct. You get 1 imaginary BBCS point, which you cannot redeem. Yeah, sadly. Sure. All right. Now, on to another kind of descriptor, sizes. There's a very obvious joke we can make here, but I won't make it because we're older than that. Come on. And yeah, unlike just now, where we described sizes in terms of pixels, like 32 pixels, 36 pixels, 72 pixels. Instead, you only have a bunch of names to describe how big it is. So you have XS, which means very, very tiny. You have base, which is like medium. SM stands for small. LG stands for you over there, guy in the green shirt with his fingers on his mouth. What does LG stand for? Correct, it stands for large. And then you have XL, 2XL, 3XL, 4XL, 5XL, etc., all the way to 9XL. Because, you know, there's no one-size-fits-all solution to text. And as you can see over here, this is how you set text to be large. You have text, and then you have the size. Like, let's say that I wanted to set my text to be small. You there with "let us live" something on your shirt. How do you set text to be small? Correct, text.sm. You are absolutely correct. On to text direction. Okay, this is a very childish joke which I wrote down. You guys heard this in your childhood, right? Like look up, look down, look left, look right. No, it's the "are you looking for your girlfriend" one. Yeah, it's very stupid. Yeah, it's fine if you don't know that. It's super stupid. But this one is very simple. Basically, it tells you whether it's aligned to the left, aligned to the right, the center, whether it's justified, etc., etc. And then there's font families in Tailwind. The thing about this is that you're only given 3. Like, if you want to set something fancy like Comic Sans, too bad. There's no Comic Sans. So you could change it if you are like swag and like go into the Tailwind config files. But yeah, normally you're only given 3. Font sans, font serif, and font mono. So something like font sans stands for sans serif, which is something like Calibri or Arial, whatever. You get the point. Then there's font serif, which is your ugly looking, super serious fonts like Times New Roman. And lastly, you have font mono, which is like what you've been seeing so far. Yep. So let's say, for example, I want to set a paragraph tag to be big and monotyped. You there, Temasek Junior College looking down with a Chromebook. Tell me, how do I set my text to be big and monotyped using Tailwind. Yes? Not, yeah, you're right. You're right now. It's text dash LG, and then you have a space to separate the styles, and then you have font dash mono. That's absolutely right. Now look at this. This is a very simple HTML thing with no Tailwind at all. You know, I made this myself because I'm employed by Santa as an unpaid intern. And yeah, I love Santa so much. I made him a number 1. Wait, that makes no sense. What the frick? Okay, no, it's fine, it's fine. Number 1 Santa fan club, because he's more than number 1. Yeah. Now look at what happens when I add Tailwind to it. This is what happens when I add Tailwind. What do you notice? Yeah, everybody starts shivering in fear. You, with the light blue shirt and roundish specs. I don't know what you call that shape. Yeah, you. What's pre-flight? Okay, not gonna lie, I don't know what that means, but I presume you're correct because basically, I don't know what pre-flight is. What is pre-flight actually? Yes. Kind of, I think. I'm not entirely too sure what pre-flight is, but basically what I can say is that, yeah, as you said, all the styles are removed. So just now, as you see, there's a header tag, there's the paragraph tag, there's the bullets. All of them now look the same. Yeah, because with Tailwind, you have to customize everything yourself. Sort of a DIY solution, you know. So this is both really troublesome and really flexible. Troublesome because you have to code out everything yourself, but flexible because you are given a lot more freedom. But as you can see here, right, H1, paragraph, everything has the same size. The input has no outline, so it just looks like a grayed out text. There's no button outline, so it just looks like text. There's no margin. The bullet point has no bullets. Looks very plain. So now that we've talked all of that, let's customize this together. I mean, let me give you a chance to customize it together. I will tell you how I want you to change it. And I want you to give me an answer as to how. Yeah, I think that's time. And don't be afraid to Google, as I said. Now, first things first. How do you add list circles? It still looks kind of ugly, but now there's circles. How do you add list circles? I'll give you all 1 minute to search this up. Okay, wait. This silence is actually really awkward. But okay, hopefully somebody is trying to search. Somebody trying? Raise your hand if you're actually trying to get the answer. Oh, wow, okay. That's awesome. Okay. Okay, you know what? I'm so sorry, but for the sake of time, I just realized that this is probably going to take a bit of time because I didn't go through this. This is the answer. List disk means that I want the bullets to be in a circle. I want it to be a disk. List inside means that I want the bullets to be inside of the text. Because usually what happens is that the bullet is sideways. So even if you have only list disk, if you don't have list inside, it'll just look like this. Now, change the background color. This one should be slightly easier. Does anyone have an answer straight away? Nobody. Oh. Yeah. If nobody answers in 10, 9, 8, 7, change background color to light red. Using Tailwind. So anybody? Somebody said it? BG. Yes. Hyphen what? Red 100. Correct. You got it exactly right. I don't know how you did it. It's like, because I think that you could have guessed 250. You guessed 100 instead. Good job. All right. So this one should be easy because it's what we've covered just now. Make H1 very big. Make H2 pretty big. And leave the paragraph tags as they are. Somebody just shout out the answer, please. Anybody? Come on. Actually, right. Do you all prefer if I just went through the answers instead of waiting for y'all to come up with the answer yourself? Like, yeah, just say yes or no in the count of 3. 3, 2, 1. That's unfortunate. Sure. This is the answer. Basically, you have text as the selector to select the text. And then you describe it to be big using 3XL, which means like the third level of XL-ness. And then H2 is just regular XL. Then there's this challenge, which is no longer challenging because I'm going through it. It's fine. Because at the end of the day, I hope that you all learned something. This is how you do it. And finally, you actually get a use for how to use span, because you're using span to change something inside of this text. Usually, like what you do is, as I say over here, wrap it in the U tag. But if you're swag like that and just want to use Tailwind, then this is how you do it. You set a span to be the class underline, which according to Tailwind underlines it. And then you wrap the span tag around very rich. So just to repeat myself, you have the text very rich. You wrap it inside a span tag so that you can change it. And then you make the span tag have the class of underline so that Tailwind knows, I want to change very rich. I want to change this span tag containing very rich. I want to change it into an underline. All right, now margin border padding. Yeah. That's not simple. A simple paragraph tag. Now, how do you think I can add a border to it? Anybody? I'll give you the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The class is border. So yeah, I think this was somewhat covered just now, where you basically set the border thickness and then you set the border color. Yeah, this is how you can add a border to a tag, an element, using the border classes. And yeah, it extends all the way to the edge because that's how HTML works. It expands your element by default all the way to the end. Anyways, now I'm going to explain why this actually makes it black bordered. This is why. Border 4 changes the border to thickness 4 pixels. 4 pixels. That's right. As you can see over here. So you have all these different pixel sizes, and somehow they don't have any like odd numbers. Like there's no border 3, there's no border 5, there's no border 7, there's no border 6. But somehow there's border 1, which is just border, which is kind of weird and goofy. Someone should like hire me to be part of Tailwind and I'll change that. Yeah. anyways, and this is how you set it to be black. So as I said just now, right, you have border, which is the descriptor, the selector. It selects the border, and then you describe it to be black. Now, how do you set the border to be light blue? You there, red shirt at the back. How do you set the border to be light blue? Yeah, him. Or you if you want. Yeah, in Tailwind. That's using CSS. If I'm not wrong, there is a way to set. Yeah, there is. Okay, I think wait. The thing is that this is border, so it's not text. So what you want to do? Wait, color. What? Text. P A. Wait, what? Wait, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't hear you. Yeah. It's not text. Okay. Sorry. I can't hear you. It's. Okay. Sorry, for the interest of time, I'll be moving on. I'm so sorry. So like the intended solution was something like border dash blue dash 200. Because in Tailwind, yeah, like there's no light blue color. You have to directly say blue and then how light or dark you want it to be. Yeah, so sorry. I'm so sorry. So now, like, let's say that I want my border to be black on two sides, but then I want my left and right border to be green. So the interesting thing is that you can directly set the directionality of how you want to describe it directly in Tailwind. And you're starting to notice that this is actually slightly more concise than normal CSS, because it's simply just border X green 500, which is to say that I want to change the border, but specifically X, which is left and right, the X axis of the border, left and right. I want to change the left and right borders to be, and based on the descriptor, it's green 500. So to break down that statement, I want to change the left and right border to be green. Oh shit, it's Eugene. Yeah. Now let's say I wanted to change the bottom border to be green. Yeah, it works like this. Border, but I want the bottom border to be green. And yeah, as you can see over here, this is how you set left, right, top, or bottom. This is how I set a specific direction of border to be a particular style. Now, then there's margin, which is more often used. So they actually shorten it from margin 4 to M4. And yeah, what if I want to set the margin to be on the left and right only? Same thing applies. X means left and right. Y means up and down. L means left, R means right, B means bottom, T means top. And just to reiterate, how that works is I want to set the margin, M, but only the left and right margins, X, to be 4 pixels wide. hence 4. Same thing with px8. Now, just so that you're not confused, px doesn't stand for pixel. It stands for the left and right headings. All right. Man, I'm actually like really thirsty and slightly out of time. Yikes. Drink up, guys. Yeah, we're in our final stretch. So if you listen, thanks. If you don't listen, honestly, I completely understand. Yeah. It's fun sometimes. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, this is the solution to our problem just now, which is that it looks very, very long. Like it extends all the way across the slide. Whereas now, it's simply very concise. And essentially, right, can someone guess what the selector for width would be? Anybody? Just shout out any guess. Any guess at all? What? W? That's actually close, I think. Okay, the thing is that it is W, but think about it this way. Width is already like left and right. So you don't need to say X anymore because WY doesn't exist. That's just height. That's just H. So close. Good job. Good effort. Good effort. Very good problem solving. Deductional skills. Deduction skills. Yeah. And yeah, as you can see over here, this is how you make it such that the width of whatever element I want fits the content. So W stands for width. And what do I want the width to do? I want it to fit the content. This is what's happening over here. And just in case it needs any like explanation, you can see that I have multiple classes over here, each separated by a space. Each one of these classes are applied to this one element, and they all combine to give us our final product, as you can see over here. Now, the descriptor for width in Tailwind is very special because it's kind of weird. The number doesn't actually mean pixel. It doesn't even mean like rem. It corresponds to some weird notation over here. And you can find this on Tailwind's documentation, in case you're wondering. Yeah, I don't have the link to this. I'm so sorry if you wanted it. But yeah, just FYI, W36 does not mean W width to be 36 pixels. As I mentioned just now briefly, there's H too. H stands for height. And what do I want the height to do? I want it to be 36, which over here, it means 144 pixels. So H36 means I want the height to be 36 pixels. And now it's exercise time. But I know you all don't really want to do the exercises, so I'll just go through the answers. Yeah. So let's say I want to give the margin to the top and the bottom of H1 and the bottom of the last list item. Ooh, man. Let's start with this one. H1 class text3 XL, and then this mystery thing. So again, can somebody shout out the selector for margin? Correct. And can somebody now shout out, how do I select specifically the top margin? Exactly, MT. And then something. Oh shoot, top and bottom, sorry. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Top and bottom is Y. If you want it to be T, then it'll only apply to the top. Sorry, I have really bad reading skills today. And if you want it to only apply to the bottom, you have B, right. Yeah. And also there's this thing over here. I'll let you read it if you want. I'll give you 5 seconds. All right. This is something which, firstly, I saw somebody doing just now. Like somebody was doing some Krispy Kreme thing.
Yes.
Yeah. And it looked something like this. Yeah, well, now you're learning how to do it in Tailwind. Woo! Wow. Yep. So, no long border or fit. How do you make the width fit? I already just said it. Somebody shout out how to make the width fit to the content over here. Who said that? What? Correct. W-FIT. Then let's say that I want to have a thick, dark green border. Let's break it down. There's the color, which is dark green. And then there's the thickness, which is thick, right? So can somebody just try out, firstly, how do you make it thick? How do you make the border thick? Somebody? Anybody? Did somebody say border something? Border 8. That would work. That'd be too thick, actually, but good. That is how you make a border really, really, really thick. I think I should stop saying that word. Some people are giggling at the back. And now somebody tell me, how do I make it dark and green? Somebody, yeah, you. That's wrong. How do you, what's the color system in Tailwind? Yeah, something like that. And as you can see, oh shoot, it actually is border 8. Okay. Anyways, yeah, so this is the complete answer. Y'all somewhat got it correct. Now, add a padding to the left and right of the email input box. So just to compare, right? This is how it looked before, and this is how it looks after. Before, after, before, after. So there is a padding within this. Remember, Paddington is an inside agent. Padding is on the inside. So how do I change the padding on the left and right to be like, I don't know, slightly small but still noticeable? Somebody shout it out. I heard an answer. PX2. Yep, something like that. Hey, you got it correct. Wow. And then this one, I'm not going to go through because it's going to take too long. Let's be honest with ourselves. Yeah, so basically you can break it down to 3 parts. There's the hover behavior, where if your mouse hovers over it, it becomes dark. There's the focus behavior, and then there's the ring behavior, where basically when it's focused, like when it's clicked, there is a ring. And so you can start to imagine, how do I change it? And yeah, like honestly, I'm just going to give you the answer because let's not waste any more time. It's 12 o'clock, and I think y'all are supposed to end at 12, right? Oh, 12:30. So we're still technically ahead of time. Oh my God. Wow. Wait, I'm actually super surprised. But anyways, right? So I think y'all understand by now what background green 600 means. So somebody in the audience, you with the black shirt, is that shirt or skirt? White jacket on your sleeves. What does BG green 600 mean? Correct. Exactly. And now, somebody in the audience, tell me, hover BG green 700. What does that do? You. Correct. 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 You're so right. So basically, the hover means that this is what I want it to look like when it's hovered. And yeah, you have to separate it with a colon over here. Now, rounded is pretty simple. Somebody shout out what rounded does. Correct. Yeah, makes the corners rounded. P2. Remember what P means? Oh, sorry. Yes, padding. And 2, obviously you weren't listening, but it's fine, it's fine. I understand if y'all weren't listening right now because, like, to be honest, it's a long day. It's been 3 hours of people just talking. I completely understand if y'all are dozing off. I completely understand. But anyways, P2, it sets the padding to 2. Yeah. And focus ring, somebody shout out what focus ring does. Correct. Correct. When you click it, there is a ring because the button is in focus. And now I want to bring your attention to the fact that this button has rounded corners and it looks pretty good. This is what Cynthia mentioned just now, which is that, oh, something dropped. Oh, nothing dropped. When you have rounded borders, it automatically makes whatever you're doing look slightly better because jagged edges, you know, they're so sharp, they pierce your eyes. The rounded borders smooth it over for you, makes it easier to bear. Okay, I'm not going to like ask you to do this because y'all look super dead. I'll just show you what's possible with Tailwind. I think you can tell I'm losing my voice already. Gosh. Anyways, right. So this is a task which, if we had a lot more time, I would have asked you all to do it. But we don't have that much time. So I'll just show you. Basically, right, you're supposed to go from something like this, which is without Tailwind, to something like this. Yeah, something like this. Keep in mind that I added no extra HTML between this and this. All of these things were achieved using only Tailwind. Actually, wait, I just realized something. There's something wrong with the button. For those people who paid attention to yesterday's class on Figma UI UX, can you tell me what's wrong with this button? Yeah, you're correct. Somebody else shouted out something else? That's wrong. Green is my favorite color. What kind of red? Actually, if you have something like red 50, like a light red, it would not contrast well with the white text over here. So if you really want to keep the white text, then you want something like red 900, a super dark shade of red. But at the same time, if you had red, that wouldn't be correct, right? Because what does red represent? What? Yeah, someone said destructive. It's danger, basically. Green is more like ding, 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 you got it right. Red is like, da-da, wrong. Yeah. Anyways, you can also like do this fancy thing where like as you resize the tab, it actually changes it. It changes the width of the thing inside. Yeah. Oh, ignore the Reddit thing. I was doing some work. Yeah. So as you can see, right, one of us spent a whole day making this. A whole day, just saying. And then that one person who did it realized that actually there was a Tailwind tutorial telling you how to make something like this already. So I basically wasted my time. But it's fine. It's fine. Okay? You live, you love, you. Okay, we don't lie. We don't lie. No, we don't die. We're gonna survive, thrive. You know. So this is the suggested solution, by the way. Like this is how it looks like. This is what I did. And just a show of hands. How many of y'all? Oh yeah, it's gonna be sent in the chat later, by the way, like in the Discord. But how many of y'all would like me to explain how it went from this to something like this? You. Okay. So hopefully this works. I don't think it will work. We go from Teams. Wait, Teams. Okay. Let me share. Let me share something else. Is it sharing my window or? Wait, has it been sharing my window or just that? Actually, wait. Okay, wait. Yeah. I'll go through this after class. So if you want me to like tell you, oh, this thing is what allows it to, like this W3/4 is what allows it to remain as 3/4 when it's like small. If you want me to explain all this, you can stay back after this lesson and just consult me. Yeah. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask any of our you call them again assistants? Facilities. Yeah, facilities. And also, right, I just realized that there's more slides to that. So I'll just go back. Let me just switch it back. So sorry. So sorry to these people online. I'm like taking a very long time to do this. Where's the slides? Yeah. So, oh shoot. So just a final note, right? As you've seen inside the Fireshape video, Tailwind isn't really meant to be used alongside framework. I mean, it's supposed to be used alongside frameworks like React and Vue. Okay, sorry, React isn't a framework, but you get what I mean. It's supposed to be used by like with something like React and Vue. What are these framework/libraries? You'll find out tomorrow in the React Next.js class with Miat, and is Arjun coming? So it's just Miat? Okay, with Miat. Give a round of applause for Miat. And some other alternatives you can consider could be Post CSS, whatever this thing is, etc., etc. So give a round of applause for all the other alternatives for Tailwind. And lastly, if vanilla CSS works for you, just use it, okay? If it works, it works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So let's give a round of applause to vanilla CSS. And also, to get boilerplate HTML template, you just type in like exclamation mark inside VS Code. Then you press tab, so that's selected. Then you get the entire template. So that can save you a lot of time from writing out the entire template yourself. All right. Oh, there's a quiz, but do you want to do it? Because technically we have time, like there's 20 more minutes.
No, inside of
Or do we wrap up?
As it's not up to you, right? There's two, like, we were thinking, right? Do you think it would be better if you can do your quiz, right? Either that, or you can do like anyone raise up hands, right? And the person, you all Q&A, like personalized, like, I think
Okay,
that way.
that's great. What about we ask the audience?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you. I would hold them. So
what do you want to ask?
do you want to have a quiz, or do you want us to personally come to you for personalized Q&A?
Or do you want to like get them to show some of the websites that they made in front of the whole session?
They want to do that.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello. Okay. So, there are two things we can do right now. We can have our quiz, which, yeah. Okay, we can have our quiz at the end. And then now we can give personalized Q&A, just like going around and helping you all if you have any questions. Is that what you guys want to do? Or
If you want personalized Q&A, say yeah. And if you want a quiz, say yeah.
okay, then we'll do the quiz now then.
Actually, I didn't expect y'all to want.
I honestly didn't either. Yeah. Okay. What are the 4 compulsory elements in your HTML document? The guy in the blue. Okay, that makes sense, but then there will be like 5 compulsory elements. There's one more. You wanna say? Like, what do you think it is? Yes, dog type declaration. You get a star. Okay. Good job though, you got most of them. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Woohoo! Okay, what does row span and call span do in tables? Yes, it does. Okay, bonus. To get a star. Like, okay, so for examples, I am trying to merge 3 rows. What would be inside my row span then? I'm trying to merge 3 rows. What would be inside my row span? Equals, quotes, what? We thought it. 3, yes. It's obvious, but yeah, I need to ask that. Good job, applause. Woohoo. Okay. Okay, so can anyone name 3 different types of inputs? No. Can anyone name 3 different types of inputs? Guys, anyone? 3 different types of input tags. Different types. Anyone? Okay. Button text number. Yeah, good job. Button text and number, 3 different types. Good job. Okay, last bag of stars. Sorry, guys. Okay, we have 1 star left. You do? Okay, so this is just like gonna be our last question for our quiz. You don't even okay, you do know what question I'm gonna ask, but does anyone else? Okay, fine. You how? 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 Like specific. What does class do specifically? Yes, okay. How about ID then?
And you did not answer.
Does anyone know what the ID does? Huh? Yes, it does identify one element. Okay, can you like, what is the example you can use it for? Like, can you explain in an example? Hmm? Yes, you can add an ID to H1 to refer to it in CSS. Okay, great. Woohoo. Thank you for that. Okay, this is the last question because we ran out of stars. Do you guys any questions? Any questions?